Welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to create a huge melody and atmosphere with presets from the sample pack, such as this one. So the melody is quite basic, but I just love that huge feeling that it gave me. And what we're going to do right now is we're just going to be focusing on the mixer because all the presets are going to be in the pack. And I'm just going to show you how I mixed it down and how I used my reverb to create a huge feeling for this melody. So starting off with our first top lead, we got this Viper preset over here. And I'm going to take away all the buzz effects on here and I'm just going to show you what this EQ does. And this top lead it's just nice. It has a nice characteristic feeling that I wanted for this melody in particular. It just moves nice enough and it just sounded right for this type of melody at least. What I did is I just cut off the lows and I boosted some of the highs, and that's 9 out of 10 times what you just need to do for your melody or for your synths that are playing the melody at least. And now you see that there's a little bit of lows over here, but there's going to be a sub playing over there, and I just don't want to have this low end region being too muddy. So that's why I cut it off quite a little bit. Maybe I could have done it even a little bit higher, but this is what I went for. Then I have this first silent one over here, and I haven't even EQ'd this one. So we're going to do that together. This is just a hypersol. And what I'm doing while I'm listening to it is just, we're gonna listen where it needs some extra and needs to be taken away a little bit of the mids or low mids, for example, just to create a nice balanced hypersol. And that's creating a little bit more of a balanced layer. Then we got another one, and this is a hypersol as well. And this one's really mid heavy, but when we take away all these mids and boost these highs again, it's going to be a lot more balanced. So having these three layers together already sounds nice. It sounds like a top lead with some hypersols behind it, and it's good, but it's not really as full as I wanted it. But it sounds like this. And that's nice, but having this extra final top lead over here that's gonna be almost with the same EQ, just taking away some lows and boosting some highs. This one's going to boost a little bit more of the body on that top lead. Just listen, when I apply this one or when I turn this one on, you're really going to hear the difference that this one vital layer makes. So it's really helping to create more body in the mids especially. So having these four layers is actually all that I needed for this melody. And I put this all to a buzz. And I put an OTT on here, and just a slight bit to get some more mids and just a little bit more highs, balance it out a little bit. But I don't want to use OTT to create a whole new balance for my lead, just to color it just a tiny bit so it sounds a bit better. So yeah, I'll just turn it on while the melody is playing. So as you hear, it's generally keeping the same balance and coloring as the lead already has before the OTT is turned on. It just is a little bit louder and it has a tiny bit more highs. Then I use this passive EQ, and passive EQ I just use it to boost a lot of the highs. And it's just a neat trick that I got to teach by NS Audio. And yeah, it just showed me how you can easily use this passive EQ, just turn up the boost and that's all. It's going to help give a lot more highs to your melody. So I'll just turn it on again. So it's helping put some more air into this melody and just make it breathe a lot more. And then I just added a tiny EQ with some extra mids and just a little bit of extra highs. So then this is the end result of the melody. So having done this, I wanted to do the reverb first, and I just applied my 2 standard reverbs again, justify the room with almost 7 seconds of decay, a high cut at 8000, depth at 100 and pre-delay at 200. I just tend to use this almost all of the time. And I had one that's going to be sidechained. This is going to be sidechained by our bus. And I have another one, and this one's not sidechained at all. It's going to help put an even bigger feeling behind our melody. So I'm just going to turn on the extra reverb so you can hear how much of extra space it's actually creating. So you can really hear how the second reverb just helps making this lead come to life and just have this room that's huge, just a huge space to breathe. And I feel you almost always need this second reverb to create a full sound for your leads. After that, I added this little delay in here, and it's just a quite basic delay, just being sidechained by the melody itself. It's a 1 second delay, nothing too special. And this is just there to keep playing when the melody would finish. Then if we take a look at the stuff behind here, we have this chord layer, and this chord layer is just a hypersaw. And what I've done is I just cut the lows or the low mids again, and I raised a little bit of the mids from this, the mono part from this hypersaw, just because that mono was already filled with the melody that we had. I just felt I could take away a little bit more on these hypersaw chords. And after this EQ, I drowned it in quite so much reverb, having it at 53% and a almost 5.5 second decay. It's just gonna put even more of this hypersaw in the stereo field, and that's just what was needed to create this hypersaw being around my top lead. So this hypersaw chord layer just helps create some more drive and more suspense, I feel, for this melody. It really helps putting that extra huge and big feeling behind this melody. Then I would say I'd added the squire layer, and the squire layer is just gonna help this hypersaw layer. It's almost playing the same notes as well, and it's just drowned in reverb, so it creates some more of that suspense behind that melody. Having this little sub in here also helps. It's just gonna help put some more beef in this melody and the whole setting that we're putting down here. And behind this there are 2 pads playing. We got this one from Vital, and I just low cut it because this part over here is already quite muddy with the other pad and the sub and the melody that's playing over there. So yeah, it's just cutting this off a little bit to create some more space. And this pad sounds like this. And it's drowned in reverb as well, and it's just nice. And together with this other pad, which is playing a little bit lower, we can create this nice and full atmosphere with that sub. I hope this video shows you how you can create a nice atmosphere together with your leads from the sample pack. And it also shows you a little bit how easy it can be to mix all these layers down. Now if you have any questions about the sample pack or anything that's not working for you, just let me know. You know where to find me, Nibiri Music at Instagram, or otherwise you can find me on YouTube. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you can put this preset and sample pack to good use. Thank you for watching these tutorials. Cheers! Okay,